Welcome back to WMBF News at 11. I'm Matt Moore. The draft has come to an end after 3 days of suspense, and a total of 7 Tigers and Gamecocks know where they'll be playing professional football. Along with C.J. Spiller in round 1, speedster Jacoby Ford, defensive end Ricky Sapp, defensive back Cresden Butler, and defensive back Cavell Connor are all headed to the NFL out of Clemson. Ford will head to the West Coast as the Raiders picked him up in the 4th round. A couple of defensive stars were selected from USC as well. Eric Norwood will head about an hour north to Charlotte for his rookie season with the Panthers, and Georgetown native and Carvers Bay alum Clifton Geathers was picked in the 6th round by Cleveland. Now here's a list of guys headed to Carolina along with Norwood. It's worth noting the Panthers picked 3 quarterbacks in Jimmy Clausen, Armonte Edwards, and Tony Pike. Edwards, though, will most likely move to wide receiver. Now, while juniors and seniors were waiting for their call to the pros, one CCU freshman wide receiver had a completely different challenge.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Now, that's 10-year-old Sabria Burns leading a group of kids in an exercise after this challenge right here. 90 seconds, do as many push-ups as she can against Coastal Carolina wide receiver Adrian Sullivan. When it was all said and done, Sabria did 88 push-ups. And so did Adrian. It was a tie. Sabria, though, says it's not the most push-ups she's ever done.
When I was 8 years old, I started going to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and I started going to 100.
She is a strong little girl because my arms were dying and she was still going hard.
Sabria, the push-up princess, is on tour traveling to schools teaching kids how to exercise. Now, as the College World Series comes closer and closer, the CCU baseball team seems like they just can't lose. 16 wins in a row ties the 2nd longest streak in school history as Cody Wheeler shut down VMI with 7 strikeouts through 7 2/3 innings. Daniel Bowman had the game-winning RBI in the 7th to keep CCU perfect in the Big South. Now, the Clemson and UNC game was called in the 5th, with the Tigers up 7-5. They'll pick that game up at noon tomorrow, and Game 3 will start 45 minutes after Game 2. South Carolina and Georgia will play Games 2 and 3 tomorrow in a 7-inning doubleheader. Now to the NBA, where the Bobcats were hosting their first playoff game in franchise history. Right here, Raymond Felton finds Larry Hughes at the top of the key. He nails that 3, and Charlotte has a nice little lead. Now, check out Dwight Howard in the 4th quarter, catches it underneath with a big dunk. 1 point, and the Magic are on top. But Dwight would foul out right here. Raymond Felton takes it to the hoop, gets the foul. He's a Latta native. He's pumped up. You know what? So is Michael Jordan. Get him out of there, he's saying. But in the waning second, Charlotte trailed, and it was Steven Jackson coming up just short. The Bobcats fall in this one 90-86. Dropping their 3rd game of the series. We'll stay on the basketball court, but change things up just a little bit. Rain moved the college handball championships indoors today. 7 men's teams and 4 women's teams are in town for the tournament. The tournament Army has won 3 straight times, and their head man has his eyes set on a 4th.
The first thing that usually goes south in an Army combat situation is the plan. So the plan was to be outside. Didn't work out that way. We're remaining flexible, and we'll have to execute and win regardless of the adversity.
Now these championships will wrap up tomorrow in Broadway. Now to professional golf, where the play at the Zurich Classic has been suspended due to rain and maybe the fear of alligators you just saw. This is David Toms earlier in the day sinking a nice long putt. He's 7 under, 5 strokes back. Check this out, coming up right here, Jeff Overton on the 17th, a sweet birdie chip in. The 3rd round will get back underway tomorrow.
I tell you what, I want to meet that push-up princess.
She was amazing. I can't do 20 push-ups without passing out.
I can do one, I don't know.
But I was also impressed with Adrian. He did a good job, too. 88 push-ups is a lot for anybody.
He did.
So,
good job.
Yeah,
Thanks, Matt.
It was very impressive.
Sounds good. We'll have a final look at your forecast coming up.